The existing and envisaged legal and policy environment of a country reflects upon intent of the government and all its instrumentalities in respect of attaining growth of particular segment of citizens for which respective laws have been enacted and policies have been evolved. With the ratification of the United Nations Conventions on the Rights of People with Disabilities during 2008, Government of India has expressed solidarity with international community in respect of ensuring shift from welfare perspective to right-based scenario in the disability sector. The country has already enacted the following special laws related to persons with disabilities. Persons with Disabilities Equal Opportunity Protection of Rights and Full Participation Act 1995, Rehabilitation Council of India Act 1993, National Trust Act for Persons with Autism, Cerebral Palsy, Mental Retardation and Multiple Disabilities 1999, Mental Health Act of 1987, Right to Education Act of 2008, Rights of Persons with Disabilities Act 2016. The Government of India took a bold initiative of amending the Right to Education Act 2008 during August 2012, ensuring coverage of children with disabilities under the Right to Education, that is RTE. To ensure effective implementation of education of children with disabilities under the RTE, the Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, has taken the following three initiatives. Establishing the National Monitoring Committee on Education of SC, ST, OBC and Children with Disabilities, establishing a task force for monitoring education of children with disabilities at national level, establishing a committee on developing guidelines as regards education of children with disabilities under RTE at the elementary level. Many state governments and the central government have already started implementing provisions of Right to Education Act, especially in respect of admission of children with disabilities in the regular schools. Even before the amendment to RTE, based on provisions of Section 26 of the PWD Act, the flagship program of the Government of India on primary education started covering children with disabilities with effect from 1999. The momentum in this regard, however, came when the government earmarked Rs 1,200 per child per year for ensuring coverage of children with disabilities. This allocation has now been increased to Rs 3,000 and special cell on inclusive education of children with disabilities has been established. This scheme has ensured coverage of thousands of children with disabilities across the country. At present, 3.2 million children with disabilities have been enrolled under the project at the level of elementary education, which is a great achievement for any developing country indeed. Similarly, the Ministry of Human Resource and Development has adopted the scheme of inclusive education of children with disabilities at the secondary school level, which is called as IEDSS, Inclusive Education of Children with Disabilities at Secondary School Level. This scheme, with a very large allocation for ensuring education at secondary level, ensures covering students with different disabilities. The scheme has made provision for providing services of special educators in the ratio of 1:5, providing special allowance, establishing resource room, providing educational material, assessment of children, support for transport, assistive devices. The scheme is fully supported by MHRD and is implanted through the State Department of Secondary Education of State Council for Educational Research and Training. The Planning Commission constituted a steering committee on social welfare under which Working Group on Empowerment of Persons with Disabilities was constituted. the working group established 5 task groups on various disability related aspects. The report adopted and submitted by the working group is a great step towards ensuring inclusion of persons with disabilities in all developmental initiatives. Much larger allocation of resources has been made to ensure inclusion of persons with disabilities in the 12th five-year plan. India took a bold initiative of reserving 3% of resources under all poverty alleviation programs as per provisions of Section 40 of the Persons with Disabilities Act 1995. The section reads as, the appropriate governments and local authorities shall reserve not less than 3% in all poverty alleviation schemes for the benefit of persons with disabilities. Due to this provision, all state-sponsored poverty alleviation schemes, rural development programs, and employment guarantee schemes have started covering persons with disabilities as well. Through the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, MGNREGA, many states have identified number of employment opportunities for different categories of persons with disabilities. In certain states, persons with disabilities have also been appointed as supervisors under the scheme. Respecting the provisions of Section 40 of the PWD Act, Council for Public Action and Rural Technology under the Ministry of Rural Development has also developed disability strategy. This initiative sought to address a serious concern regarding the poor coverage of rural people with disabilities by the existing services and the need for special efforts to be made to enable them to participate in rural development programs. One of the major achievements is identification of jobs suitable for persons with disabilities as per provision of Section 32 of the Persons with Disability Act and job reservation to the extent of 3% in identified posts as per provision of Section 33 of Persons with Disability Act. It is now mandatory for all the government as well as the government supported establishment to reserve 3% jobs for persons with disabilities. Job identification. The Department of Disability Affairs, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment identified and published a list of jobs suitable for persons with disabilities in different establishments. One of the major factors for ensuring development any segment of society is extending them appropriate educational opportunities. The Section 39 of the Persons with Disability Act on reservation in admission to educational institutes is a great initiative in this regard. The Supreme Court of India as well as many high courts has passed numerous judgments validating provision of this section and directing the appropriate government to ensure reservation in all educational institutes, including institutions of international repute. It is true development that now have a blind person pursuing his management education in the prestigious Management Institute, a deaf girl in studying in the College of Pharmacy, a blind girl is now pursuing course in physiotherapy, a person in wheelchair is now studying in engineering college. All these people, on completion of their studies, will be part of mainstream, employed in any professional company and would become a symbol of inclusion for other persons with disabilities. Our country adopted an innovative approach of standardizing all disability-related human resource development courses. For this purpose, country evolved and enacted Rehabilitation Council of India Act, which makes it mandatory for all the universities and training institutes to run only standardized courses and ensure minimum standard of infrastructure. Due to this initiative, large number of general training institutes has introduced various courses in areas related to disabilities. The Department of Disability Affairs has been extending financial support for the implementation of scheme of providing assistive devices to persons with disabilities. This scheme is being implemented across through the network of development organizations, disability development organizations, and district disability rehabilitation centers. Millions of people with disabilities have been provided mobility devices, rehabilitation aids, and educational devices across the country. This is another indicator in respect of the role of law for ensuring development of people with disabilities. Section 44 and 45 of the PWD Act, Persons with Disability Act 1995 on non-discrimination cast responsibility over the state to ensure non-discrimination in transport, road and built environment. Due to these provisions, the Ministry of Urban Development and State Public Work Department have developed and adopted guidelines on ensuring accessibility to persons with disabilities in public buildings. Enabling persons with disabilities to exercise their franchise on their own is a great step towards ensuring their development. The Chief Election Commission and state election commissions have issued guidelines of providing access to persons with disabilities by making ramps, establishing election booths on the ground floors, putting braille marking on the electronic voting machines, and providing one copy of ballot paper at each polling booth. These initiatives will enhance prestige of persons with disabilities and grant them status of equality in exercising their rights. Section 47 of the Persons with Disability Act ensures non-discrimination in employment of persons with disabilities. It mandates that a person shall not be dispensed with or reduced in rank on acquiring disabilities during employment. Even when the person is not suitable for the job he was performing, law provides protection and permits shifting to another post with protection of salary and benefits thereon. First time in the history of developmental legislation, legal mandate was provided to these components as per provisions of Section 25 of the Persons with Disability Act 1995. The provision mandates the appropriate government of local authorities to certain steps for the prevention of occurrence of disabilities. This one legal mandate has resulted into evolving the number of national programs like National Program on Control of Blindness, National Program on Care and Cure of Deafness, Pulse Polio Campaign, and National Mental Health Program. Our country has established the National Trust Act through statutory provision. This special central law aims at promotion of services for persons with autism, cerebral palsy, mental retardation, and multiple disabilities. Two major contributions of this statutory initiative has introduction of guardianship and health insurance scheme known as Niramaya for the target group. First time in our country, the persons with these disabilities are being reimbursed medical expenses under this health insurance. Even the long drawn expenses on physiotherapy, which one is required to incur over many years, are being reimbursed under this scheme. The government took legal measures for ensuring access to technology for the people with disabilities at affordable cost. All equipment, software, devices and machines required for producing goods required for exclusive use of persons with disabilities are exempted from custom duty in general and excise in a selective manner. The Value Added Tax Act exempts organizations working for persons with disabilities from the VAT on goods sold which were manufactured or produced as a part of training activities. Due to these legal provisions, there are numerous braille presses, low vision centers, and resource centers which are duty-free imported machinery and equipment. The National Council of Skill Development is planning to launch a nationwide scheme on providing skill development to millions of people. This initiative is being monitored by the advisor to the Prime Minister of India. Even this initiative has recognized the importance of including persons with disabilities. This nationwide initiative is working on ensuring coverage of people with disabilities to enhance the gainful occupation and earning capacity. This initiative will ensure inclusion of people with disabilities at all levels of skill development, enhance their earning capacity, and hence ensure their development. The Livelihood Mission, which is monitored by Prime Minister's Office, has also initiated involvement of people with disabilities in the mission activities. The National Disaster Management Authority has also recognized the need for disaster preparedness and need for taking special measures for persons with disability in case of any disaster. The guidelines on disaster preparedness have included disability component. The NDMA also included a training component while imparting training to various functionaries of state disaster management authorities. Even the National Human Rights Commission has appointed a disability rapporteur to ensure protection of human rights of persons with disabilities. Most of the time, the National Human Rights Commission has appointed persons with disabilities themselves on this coveted position. Apart from these provisions made in the special laws, there are numerous instances of ensuring development of people with disabilities because of their equal coverage under other general laws. For example, people with disabilities are now eligible to avail general as well as health insurance, own and manage their properties, inherit parental properties at par with other siblings, avail all benefits which are available to other citizens. The people with disabilities have same protection of their rights under the Constitution of India and other laws like any other citizen in India. No person can be discriminated on the basis of disability or disabling conditions. Thus, law, legal measures, verdict of courts, and notifications by the competent authorities have played a very significant role in ensuring the development of persons with disabilities. While a very encouraging beginning has been made, we have to go a long way in ensuring equality, equity, equal rights, and social justice to persons with disabilities as envisaged under the Convention on the Rights of People with Disabilities. There is, however, a greater need in respect of creating awareness about these policies and programs among the rural masses, providing access to people with disabilities to such measures, simplifying the procedures, maintaining continuity and uniformity of these initiatives, and sensitizing the concerned officials and service providers as regard essence and spirits of such legislative and policy measures. To ensure effective and efficient implementation of these legal and policy measures, people with disabilities themselves need to be empowered. Their organization needs to support an appropriate mechanism for monitoring these measures and the needs to be established. It is essential to ensure participation of people themselves, their parents, and members of the community in taking the required services to the doorstep of people. All the legal and policy measures need to be people-oriented, culturally appropriate, and in consonance with the overall developmental goods of our nation. An excellent beginning in respect of evolving and adopting legal and policy measures in the area of disability development has been made. We, however, have a long way to go making these measures people-friendly, accessible, appropriate, and accessible by all the people, all the time, at all the places. No doubt, our country has enacted a comprehensive legislation on compulsory and free education of children at elementary level. It has enacted another legislation on protection of right of persons with disabilities, including imparting a free education to children with visual impairment. It has reserved 3% seats in all educational institutes for children with disabilities. It has established a number of braille production units, low vision assessment centers, and has launched a nationwide project on education for all, which is covering 2.6 million children with disabilities.